Welcome, everyone. Take that on pause. Great. Welcome, and it's so good to have all of you here. I've been trying to decide what we should call this. If I come on every Wednesday, maybe Wisdom Wednesdays, or I don't know, Wise Wednesday, Wizard Wednesday. Let me know what you think. What would be a good uh, thing to call Wednesdays? And I come on here every week. I'm curious where you guys are calling in from. We always have an international audience. There's a few things that I want to talk about today. So, one is an energy update on some of the latest ways that the energy is working, especially with the dark side, and how humanity is ascending and some new energies we're tapping into. And then we're going to get into this some of this oversoul, some information about that. This is kind of a new thing, new to me, new to my tribe, and the people that are following me. So I want to talk about those things, and then I'd love to entertain some of your questions. You can find out how you're doing, what's up. And we're not doing any clearings here, but I'm certainly happy to give you some information about what's going on with you. So let's see what we got. Now, I kind of screwed things up, so sorry, Instagram, but boy, if you just push the wrong button, you're in trouble. So I can't go back and access any of their comments. So I apologize for that. If you want to join us on YouTube, you can head over to Shama Kim Productions and join us there live. And then you can post your questions there. So it's really a great interactive platform. All right. Welcome, Tiffany and Dorothy from Colorado. Great. Always nice to get on lives. I love it myself. Let's clean some glasses here. Alabama, great to have you, Dana. And we have Los Angeles, so right in my neck of the woods. I live about an hour and a half south of LA, so that's where I am. All right. Well, today I wanted to talk about some energy updates, some new things that we've been learning. So, for those of you who have been following me, you know that the infinity system that I've been given, that's outlined in my book, Access Your Ultimate Power, the Blueprint to Infinite Intelligence. In that book that outlines that system, it is sort of a living, breathing, ever evolving system. So it's always changing, which made it kind of hard to finish that book because, like, where do you draw the finish line? It's new things keep happening and changing. Welcome, Sandy, from Hawaii. Uh, so yes, this system is always changing, growing, morphing, and so this platform every Wednesday night, I'd like to be coming here every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, and giving you the latest on how this system is ever changing. It's a reflection of how we're growing, how we're evolving, how we're expanding, and being more connected to this presence that we already are. This I am presence, our oversoul. Our oversoul is it's the highest aspect of ourselves, like the big umbrella. That's our oversoul, and then it sends down these fractals, and so our existence on this planet is a fractal of our oversoul. It's just a small representation. So this oversoul is knows everything. It has all the information, intelligence that we need to tap into for everything that already exists. And so this oversoul can help us align to that. So some very big changes have been happening fast, and it can be a little overwhelming for some people. These changes that are happening so big, so fast. And Wednesday wisdom. All right, I like that too. That's great. Thanks, Catherine. We were trying to figure out what to call Wednesday this night that I come on every Wednesday. Um, so this wisdom from this oversoul will inform us what we need to do to align to what already exists, our highest potential, our I am presence, our divine blueprint. It's all in this Oversoul. And so, last luminary activation, I do this the first Thursday of every month. We activated or got connected. Actually, we're already connected. Well, I can't say that. I can't say that. I've discovered since doing this that not everyone is connected. So I take that back. However, we, at that last luminary activation, we did connect to our Oversoul 100%. And some people couldn't receive it all. It was just a bit too much. Some people think that they want something, but then when it really shows up and they see what it means and why they're not there yet, all the stuff that starts coming up, it can be a bit much and they can't receive it all. And especially because it means that there's something that we need to do or change, or we need to respond differently. We need to think differently. And so something has to change. That's the only way you're going to get different outcomes. And so that can be a little overwhelming for some people. And for others, super exciting. I know it's been exciting for me to step into. I have more energy. I have more inspiration. Um, yeah, things are just happening really effortlessly for me. And I know we had some great breakthroughs in this last 12-day program, which just ended yesterday. Yeah, just ended yesterday. It's hard to keep track of time now. So that just ended yesterday, and some just really big breakthroughs, like life changing for this group of people. And so, if some of you are on, so you can attest to that, how life changing it's been for you. And so, we do this luminary activation every first Thursday. This last one that we did, I felt that it was so important that the last week that I was on here, I shared a link that, let me share it again. I'm going to share a link so that you can, whoever is on, and we will also put it in the show notes, whoever is on can, last week you could click on this link. So I don't know if that's still true or not, but at any rate, it's in the comments. And okay, I think a banner might be helpful too. Let's take this off here. Hang on, I'm doing this solo, so your patience is so much appreciated. We'll take, where's that? Take that off. Oh, the comments. Okay, that's right. That's why that's doing that. There we go. Hide that. All right, so there's that. Okay, let me see if I can highlight this. There we go. There. Okay, so I know it's too long to write down, but if somebody said last week that you could click on it. If that's the case, great. Click on it. Then you can listen to last month's luminary activation, where we activated and got connected to our Oversoul. And this has been very important in the progress that we're making now, the changes, the alignment that we need to have. It's all connected to this Oversoul. And this Oversoul is making everything so much more effortless. As a matter of fact, those of us who are connected no longer have to check for spells, curses, these AI cords, any of this infiltration. It's just not happening anymore because we're commanding our space and we're just not allowing any of that infiltration. So those who have noticed the infiltration is still happening, they also noticed they've disconnected from their Oversoul, or maybe only connected 15%. So this has been exciting and groundbreaking, life-changing. It's been quite big. So if you can't click on that link or you don't know what we're talking about, you can always email support@kimberlysherry.com and just request the link and we'll send it to you. So that's what's happening. Hang on, I'm just have to cool down here for a second. It's a little warm. I could turn on the AC, but I don't know. I like fresh air. All right. So that is what's going on with this this Oversoul, which has been fascinating. So in the past 2 weeks since we activated this Oversoul, I've been noticing some changes, and so some people are mentioning a few things here. So let me see what we got. Shelley, yes, the 12-day program we just finished moved me forward so much. Yes, great. It really moved a lot of people forward. It was definitely life-changing and it keeps giving. Great. Love that, Daily Muse. I clicked on the link. It took me to your page. So it works. Okay, great. Thanks, Sandy. And yes, I haven't need to do haven't need to since doing the second time. Okay, so I think that means you haven't needed to activate it again, the Oversoul. So yeah, everybody's going to be a little bit different because for some people, it's a very far distance from where they are now to being aligned with this Oversoul. That is like a really big jump for a lot of people. And so the journey from connecting to that Oversoul, once you connect, it may be rough. You know, I'm not in charge of that. I have no idea how it's going to work for you. However, this is what's necessary in order to get aligned and to know what we need to do. This Oversoul will inform us, it will inspire us with what's our next effortless action. What do I need to do to be fully aligned, and what's next? So it's quite it is quite exciting. So a few things that I wanted to let you know about this, how some of the ways that I've been using it since we discovered this. And one is with animals. Well, one with my horse. That was one of the first places I tried it. Make sure he's connected to his Oversoul. I had a client who was going to be traveling with her dog. It was very worried, and also when they get to their destination in a different country, she was very afraid that the dog was going to get bitten by snakes or scorpions or something. And it just came to me, well, let's connect the dog to his Oversoul. Like when a dog is connected to their innate knowing, they'll know what's dangerous. But I could see, as a result of doing this clearing and this reading with this client, that dogs have dogs have been bred and inbred or whatever, genetically modified, so that some of them are not very smart anymore. This was a little golden doodle, and so very playful, happy, but kind of like not the smartest tool in the shed. And so I thought, wow, you could see how and then when we started connecting the Oversoul, could see how the dog had been disconnected from this higher aspect of himself where he would know what was dangerous. A dog, when they're connected to their innate sense, they know what's dangerous, what's not dangerous. And so anyway, we connected him to his Oversoul, and we'll see how that turns out. So that I found that very interesting. And then also with my horse, and also worked with a client with her horse today. And that was also very interesting, that horses can be connected to their Oversoul. And so those of you who have pets and those of you who know how to do this kind of energy work, check to see if your pet is connected to their Oversoul, so that they can connect to their innate intelligence, their innate knowing of how to be safe, how to operate and navigate in the world, and etc. I think it's actually was kind of a surprising and quite interesting find about that. So that was interesting. Um, any more comments? Okay, great. Then the next thing that I wanted to talk about was another way that this oversoul can be used in a helpful way. Well, actually, two more now that I'm thinking of it. Okay, well, this thing it just really has expanded things and made things a lot easier. So one way is in the we space. So WE, two people, is a relationship. So it could be a husband and wife, it could be two partners, it could be two friends, it could be, a mother and daughter, etc., etc. But two people. And so this oversoul energy can be brought into that we space. And so the way that I did it is it made like a double helix where each person's oversoul creates a double helix that then comes down into this oversoul. The oversoul energy comes down like a big white column of light, locks into the spine, and and operates from there. And so it uses this white plasma energy to just obliterate anything that's in the way. I mean, you have to ask it and tell it and work with it, but it's quite powerful. So the we space is one place that it can be used to help with relationships. And then one other place that I discovered is in our dream space. So when we sleep at night, for those of you who have a hard time sleeping, we create an avatar to represent our sleep space. And then we put our intentions in the rings, just like we do with ourself. We run energy through this. And we can also connect this space to our oversoul, bring that oversoul energy down into that so that we can clear some of these energies that are disturbing our sleep, that are interfering with our work for those of you who do work on the astral at night, it'll help you clear any of that interference. So that's another really powerful and profound way to use this oversoul energy. There's one more thing I wanted to talk about as far as some of the energetic things that are shifting. So one thing that I've been noticing is that um, you can't expand outward. Well, let me take that back. You can only expand outward to the degree that you have gone inward. And so a lot of people have this backwards. They have a lot of their attention out in the ethers and, out trying to connect with the stars and the angels and everything out here and trying to expand outward. But that is really only going to happen to the degree that you have gone inward. And so the more that we have been doing these clearings, the more that we've been seeing what is in the way of our highest potential, of our connecting to our deepest dreams, realizing and manifesting our, what we know is possible. And so this expansion is only going to happen to the degree that we go inward. And as we've been going deeper and deeper, finding more and more places where these energies have probably been here all along, except that now we're finding these deeper hidden places. So one of the more recent places was with all those energy cords from this AI infiltration, energy cords, spells, and curses. So now that we've connected to our oversoul, that we don't have to worry about that anymore, at least those of us who are connected. One other thing that I've discovered since connecting to this oversoul is that there is in many people, and it may be in everyone, but maybe you don't we don't find it until enough garbage gets cleared out of the way. But what I've been finding is a black box at the bottom of the spine. So right in that root chakra. It's a control mechanism. And I started noticing this after I had listened to someone that I trust, and he was talking about this black box that is under like all the churches, under the governments, under, important places as a way of trying to control the power of these, places where people meet and do big things and portals, etc. So since I got that piece of information, I started noticing this black box at the bottom of people's spine. So this is another control mechanism that we were able to clear. And so the point of connecting to our oversoul is so that we can realize everything that already exists, all the things that people are hoping for, maybe hoping to make more money, or hoping for a relationship, or hoping for that new job, or hoping for it's, everything is always out in the future. Well, all of that stuff already exists in present time, in this moment. We're just not aligned or tuned to it. You've probably heard the illustration about listening to the radio back in the day when we used to tune it to, the right frequency, and then you would get a signal, and then you would lock in. And then, that's country music. And then if you want opera, then you change the dial to tap into a different frequency. Well, all those songs are existing simultaneously. It just depends on what bandwidth we're connected to. And the same thing is true with all the things that you can imagine that you desire for yourself. It already is here. And so it's just a matter of dialing into this frequency. And that's what the Oversoul is going to help you do. So, having said all that, what can I help you guys with today on Wednesday Wisdom? Is that what we're calling this? Wednesday Wisdom. And all my so while you guys are figuring out some questions, there's some people that are new here or who come across this channel who don't really know me or what I do, or what the heck is going on. I'm about to post a video on my YouTube channel that was part of the Women of Wonder series that won an award in Los Angeles recently. And so this was filmed when I was recently in Bali. And it's a nice little narrative about what I do and where I came from, et cetera. It's only about 4 or 5 minutes. So it's a nice little vignette. So when that's up, I encourage you to listen to that. But the short of my story is I was born and raised in a religious cult of Jehovah's Witnesses. So a lot of my journey and path has been about how I was meant to tap into my personal power, as it has been for a lot of you. A lot of you have that same story. We've been given a lot of challenges on how do we overcome that so we really can step into our power. So there was a lot of things in my life that took my power away, and that's the story, right? So growing up in a religious cult, the religious leaders, told you, and you filtered your life through all of their decisions and rules, etc. I was also grew up in the I grew up in the 50s. My parents were of the Depression era, and so a lot of lack mindsets, and also sexually abused as a very young child. So I had like a lot of really big things to overcome. I've gone through a bankruptcy, divorce, lots of, ugly things, hard things. And each time was an opportunity to figure out how I can step into my power even that much more. And so that's what my book is all about, Access Your Ultimate Power, especially for women, because women have been tapping into more of the masculine model. I mean, that's really all they think there is as far as how to step into our power. And so a lot of women have become like, pushy, aggressive, angry men, and thinking that that's being in your power, and it's so not. And so this system is more aligned with accessing our feminine power, which is magnetic. And this is an energy that can be balanced, masculine and feminine. And so that both of those energies, like we should have 100% of each of those. They're two very different frequencies. And when they're aligned in every chakra, you have masculine and feminine in the crown, in your sixth chakra, in your heart, etc. When it's balanced, then the masculine part of you knows how to get things done. That's that outward energy that gets things done. It's also very structured, very logical. And that masculine mind is actually in every cell in our body. And then the feminine energy is more of the intuitive heart energy, and more magnetic. So the two of those, when they work together, the feminine magnet pulls things to you, all the things you need, the effortless things that you need to bring to you. And then the masculine then knows what to do and how to take actions. And when those two are in balance, then even just in your own personal self, the masculine side of you knows how to make the feminine side of you feel safe, so you can drop into your magic, your feminine wisdom, etc., and know that you're safe, know that your masculine side of you has got your back. And so anyway, there's my little spiel. Let's see what you guys have to say. Questions? Okay, good. Nice. We've got some questions. Kaylin, nice to have you here. Kylan, how do I know if I'm connected to my oversoul? Well, you can ask, but I'll tell you what percent you're connected. It's about 15%, Kai. The energy that's in the way is in your root chakra. It's some fear. It's a fear of failure. So if you were to, so the first thing you need to do would be to get grounded. So getting grounded by clearing that fear in your root, connecting to that oversoul, that big white column of light, bringing that down into your spine, locking that in place. And then I like to use that oversoul energy to start clearing stuff. You could even use it to clear that energy that's in your root chakra. So yeah, great. You move energies really fast, and you're already grounded. So that's awesome. And your oversoul is still only 15% connected. So I would keep working on that. So great having you here. All right, Dana, can you connect? Can you connect the we oversoul with someone without them being aware? I wouldn't, because one, connecting someone to their oversoul is going to create a lot of shift and changes. And even people who are doing it consciously some of them are having a hard time because it's a bit much. And so, yeah, I would not connect someone's oversoul to them. You could still create the we space avatar, because you're not really doing anything to anybody else's energy field. You could still create a we space and create intentions for this avatar, and do it that way. But yeah, I wouldn't connect someone to their oversoul without their permission. Yeah, it's a big step. Okay, Caitlin, here's part 2. Why wouldn't my oversoul or higher self just be connected so I can live my optimal life effortlessly? Great question. Because there's a lot of interference on the planet that does not want humans in their highest potential, in their gifts and alchemy and knowledge and wisdom. And so they're doing everything possible to keep us distracted um, and to interfere with that connection. So prior to finding or knowing about this oversoul connection, what we were finding massive amounts of these cords, like 50 at a time, spells, curses that were all trying to interfere um, with our tapping into our greatest selves. So yeah, there's a lot of energies that don't want us to remember who we are and what we're capable of because they know they're toast when we all start doing that. So great question though. Thanks, Kai. All right. Let's see. Shoshana, how do you know when you can use your oversoul on other avatars? Well, you can ask. Um, and, when you think that about an oversoul being the highest aspect of like a being, then it wouldn't be so useful on like selling your house avatar that because it doesn't have it's not a being, but with the dream space, that's an extension our of our self, right? Because that's just where we go when we're sleeping. And the same thing with the we space. You have two people, two beings. Same thing with a pet. That's a being. So the oversoul is, at least this is my understanding. Now I could be wrong, but this is just what I've been discovering and my understanding in the last 2 weeks as this has just been unfolding for me. And it may change. I didn't know that you could connect the oversoul to our dream space or to pets. I thought, so yeah, new things will show up and we'll see how it all goes. Okay. Oh, three. We have a third question here. Okay. What is your take on life wave infrared patches? Seems kind of gimmicky, but infrared does help. Um, well, if I'm, let's see if I'm measuring the overall frequency or if I'm measuring it for you, Kai. Well, it's the same either way. So I'm getting that it vibes at 500. So 500 is the frequency of, yeah, I like it. Like I like chocolate. It's not going to hurt you, but it's not an infinity either. So it's not going to hurt, but is it going to really move the needle? Not likely. That's just my intuitive sense. All right, Shelley, I'm giving readings to two new clients. There are a couple have fear about it. One of them loves Joe Dispenza. I'm not sure if it's them or me that is making me feel that way. Would love some insight. Well, yeah. So if these people haven't gotten the memo that Joe has been infiltrated and has been taken over, and they're still kind of a diehard, then chances are they're matching his energy. So I'm going to check if they are. Right? Yeah. So neither of them have grounding cords. Let's see, rings. They both only have 3 creative rings. Heart, 15 and 15. The heart's only 15% open. So they're doing better than Joe's doing because Joe is no grounding, no rings, no heart. And in his ego, 100%. So he's operating from the message he used to have. I mean, he used to have a very good message. It's not like the message is even wrong, although I have heard him say some things that are a little off. However, he's being used because he has such a big influence. And then these energies come in, their frequencies. You can't see it, you can't hear it, but it's going to convey the thoughts and beliefs that these darker influences want you to think and believe. So I I don't know how that's going to affect your reading tomorrow, but um, I would just be honest with them. You don't have to let them know. Well, maybe you would. Maybe you do want to let them know that Joe's been taken over, um, or you can just let them know where they're at. It's up to you. Is this a cult? Okay, good. God, are you talking about the infrared thing, the life wave? Is that a cult? No, I'm not getting it's a cult. But yeah, maybe it has a mood. It's got a following, and so it might seem like a cult, but it's not. All right. Todd, I've clicked the link for July's luminary, but I can't find it in the Apple Podcast app. Well, did you subscribe? You have to subscribe and then I think subscribe and follow. That's all I know, Todd. You can email support@kimberlysherry.com and we'll see if we can take care of you tomorrow. And that's all I can suggest from here. Thanks for joining us tonight, though. Tiffany, can you tell me how accurate my calibrations are and what energies could release to improve my accuracy? Um, well, I don't know what you're measuring, so that's a really broad stroke. Your calibrations in general. Um, I'm getting there 95% accurate. So I don't know. I don't know if that's accurate, but you can. What's in the way for more accuracy, or what's in the way for you to have more confidence? It's actually the latter. The latter. It's in your root chakra. It's in your root chakra. Second layer, fear. That fear of failure. Like, what if you get it wrong? You know. Um, yeah. I hope that helps. All right. Let's see what else we have here. This is Sherry from Kuala Lumpur. Welcome. And in general, okay, yeah, in general. Yeah, I was getting 95%, Tiffany. So I don't know if that's helpful or not, but I think it'd be more helpful if you had a calibration and I could tell you if it was accurate or not. Maybe that would be easier. All right. What else you guys got? Any other questions? What is today? Wednesday. So a couple things that are coming up while you guys are figuring out some more questions is the Lionsgate portal. So most of us think of the Lionsgate portal as happening on August 8th. That's the pinnacle of the alignment. But the gate actually opens from July 26th to August 12th. And so this is actually a perfect time, if you haven't done a vision board in a while, perfect time to create a vision board, because this energy is all about the energies of abundance, courage. You have the sun in Leo, which is a very courageous energy. You have this alignment with a Sirius, which is twice as large as the sun, but 10 times brighter, 10 times more luminous. So we're bringing in a lot of light energy, a lot of light codes. And the more light that we have and access and can bring into our energy field, it means the more information we hold. And that's what we need to really operate well with our Oversoul. And then we can be informed on how and what we need to do and what's next and how to operate. So creating a vision board would be a great opportunity during that window. So July 26th through August 12th, and then making sure that you've planted your board by 8/8. so that then it can start manifesting in this powerful energy. So this next luminary activation, which will be the day before that pivotal, so it's going to be on August 7th. I'm going to be helping you activate 3 infinity loops that are going to help amplify our abundance, our ability to speak our truth, and has to do with also our creations. Um, you'll see. I'm not going to say everything about it, but it's going to be really powerful. All right. Candace Owens mentioned a black box last week. Interesting. And I wonder where she said it was. The first time I saw a black box was at least 2, maybe 3 years ago. I was at an airport near Dubai or somewhere over there. I can't even remember now. And it was the first time I'd seen less than the 3 rings that we generally have above our head. That to me, that was like the minimum of rings that a person has. And so in this airport, I noticed there were all these monks that had this white robe on, like this with one shoulder exposed and in slippers. And it was pretty cold. So I was like wondering, like, boy, are these guys cold? Are these guys freezing? But anyway, and there were tons of these priests or monks, whatever, in the airport. And up on the screen, there was a big TV screen. I noticed this is apparently where they were going to Mecca, where there's a massive black box there, and the hundreds, maybe even thousands, they're all going around this black box. And I don't know what possessed me to even check, but for some reason, I decided to check these monks. Like, I don't know, how many rings do they have? They didn't have any rings. And I thought, wow, that's odd. And then I checked another one and another one, and none of them had any creative rings. I thought, wow, that is fascinating. So that was the first time I noticed less than 3 rings. And so, yeah, the black box is a control mechanism for sure. All right, let's see. Okay, more Shelley. My kitten Pablo always jumps on my older cat. I tried to bring down both cats' oversouls today to see if it could help. Did it work? Well, let's see. So we have Pablo. He's 100% connected to his oversoul. And then older cat, not connected to his oversoul. So it stops right above the crown. There's about 20 of those AI chords in his crown. So this is a really fascinating thing about how they're even trying to control pets, like, because we interact with them, and I don't know, whatever. It's pretty fascinating. So uh, I would, as you bring this oversoul energy down into his crown, the older cat, allow the oversoul to clear and transmute these chords in the crown so that it can come in. And then again, there's more at the heart, another 20 chords. Yeah. And then bring the oversoul all the way to the end of their tail. Yeah. Like when you pet your animals, you should pet your animal to the end of their tail. A lot of people stop right at the beginning of the tail, and it's amazing how much energy will collect at the root chakra. And then, pets get anxious, and the root is all about survival and feeling safe and grounded and calm. And so, a lot of anxious animals have a lot of energy stuck right there. So it's a good thing to check on. Is Sandy's dog Mango connected to his oversoul? Only 15%, Sandy. He's working, so it only comes to the heart where there's about 20 of those AI chords. So allow that oversoul energy to transmute with that white plasma, the energy in his heart chakra. And yeah, see how that goes. Okay, it's just you and me, Shelley. Nobody else wants to know what's going on. Okay, my big cat Ollie has always had interference. Thank you. Okay, so that the big cat is the older cat, I guess. Great, that's awesome. All right. Well, we're getting close to wrapping it up. So if you have a question, now's the time. Okay, soul alchemist. Do you ever find the soul or higher self ever purposely cord ourselves to show us that we have trapped negative emotions, to show us where we need to be healed as kind of a communication? I am not sure I understand your question, to be quite honest. Um, your oversoul purposely cord ourselves. Um, I don't know that we cord ourselves. I've never heard of that, that we can cord to ourselves. So that's the first thing that creates confusion for me. I'm so sorry. Maybe that you have another way of wording it so that I can know what you're asking. Um, all right, Tiffany, what about connecting your younger kids to their oversouls? Well, yeah, they're your kids, right? So you're the mom. Yeah, certainly that would be probably really helpful if they're not connected, and to get them connected so that they can connect to this higher information and start being sovereign. And so the point of connecting to this oversoul as we're being sovereign is that we start commanding our space. We only let into our field who we give permission to. So that's why, like, no more AI garbage is allowed in, right? So, but that's because, like, for me and those of us who have done this, we are not allowing it. We just, there's no permission. You have no permission to be in my space. So, yeah, that's kind of how it goes. So Dana wants to know if she's connected. Dana, I think this is a woman, Dana, but it doesn't really matter. We're tapping into the frequency. 15%, Dana. Mhm. It stops right at your crown. So if you use that oversoul energy to start clearing the cords that are sovereign over you right now, those AI cords, you also have no grounding. So you can experiment with this because this is all kind of new energy, even to me. You can experiment with this oversoul, bring it in, see if it can clear what's in the way, see if it can get you grounded. And yeah. And so just know that once you connect to this oversoul, you're going to start being informed what's not aligned in your life. Like, the job that you're always complaining about, oh, I hate this job. Well, what if all of a sudden now you don't have that job because you're complaining about it so much that your oversoul is giving you the knowledge, the information, the manifestations of what you think about the most often for the longest duration with the greatest intensity. So, you're going to start creating what you think about. And so, yeah, I wouldn't take this oversoul thing lightly. It's connecting you to the highest aspect of yourself. So you're going to start seeing what's not aligned. And sometimes it's not so pretty. I'll be honest with you. Sometimes it's kind of rough. All right. Sandy wants to know, is she connected to her oversoul? Yes, 100%. Janira wants to know if she's connected to her oversoul. 15%. Yep. So right in your crown. So Janira, same thing. You have no grounding, and you have that interference at your crown from 20 of these AI cords that are plugged into your crown chakra. They are the boss of you, and you're like their puppet right now. So yeah, you're welcome, Sandy. So yeah, so my suggestion for those of you who are not connected to your oversoul, and you want to be, more informed about what you need to do to be aligned with your highest potential, connect to this luminary activation. And if you can't, if you need help getting connected, you can always email support@kimberlysherry.com. In love with me, are you connected to your Oversoul? Also only 15%. I think you were on last week too. So still not grounded. And let's see. Yeah, the Oversoul stops right at the crown. You also, so it's interesting that all three of you, or at least there's three of you here, that have these cords at your crown. And so this is controlling you and not allowing you to be grounded. So oftentimes just clearing these cords off, that you can get grounded. So yeah, it's sometimes a lot easier than you think. All right, my dear friends, for those of you who want to connect to the next luminary activation on August 7th, you can go to my website here listed on the page and scroll down and connect to luminary activation. You can find out what it's all about, the Lionsgate portal preparation activation. And so we're going to get ready for stepping into our next level of abundance. So hopefully you'll be joining us. All right, we have some last minute people piping in. Valentine wants to know how many cords. Well, you are grounded, Valentine, but so there's different kinds of cords. There's AI cords, there's people cords, and you have about 50, just like first glance, 50 of these AI cords in your crown and your root chakra. So that would be a good place to start. All right, everybody, we will see you next Wednesday. And remember that in 3 days, the Lionsgate portal starts to open. That alignment is starting to happen. So if you're interested, get your vision boards ready. And yeah, until we meet again, have a blessed night. Namaste.